This is Gloucester, Massachusetts, America's oldest fishing port. Last fall, a storm blew through this town, but it wasn't from off the Atlantic. It was from inside the halls of Gloucester High School, where 18 girls allegedly made a pact to get pregnant. Turns out there was no pact, but it made for some explosive headlines. Just as Bristol Palin's pregnancy turned into a gale force story. But the trouble is, teenage pregnancy isn't about celebrities or outlandish rumors. It's about our daughters and our sons in every town from coast to coast. For the first time in 15 years, the teen birth rate is on the rise. 750,000 American girls will become pregnant this year. Tonight, we take you on a cross-country journey, a year in the making, into the real storm, the real lives of children having children. 18-year-old Hannah listens to Taylor Swift's Romeo and Juliet and imagines her own life as a love story. And why not? Her senior year at Eisenhower High School in Yakima, Washington is picture perfect.
See you later.
Hannah and her Romeo, Taylor, the football quarterback, are even crowned homecoming king and queen.
Your homecoming king. Your queen, Hannah Elizabeth.
They were that couple that was like, oh, Taylor and Hannah, really cute. You have the cheerleader and the football player, and everybody knows that they win. Well, cliche.
But lest we forget, Romeo and Juliet is a tragedy.
Trying to tell myself, like, it's gonna be okay, like, life's gonna go on, you know? Like, life's not fair and this is what happens, you know? But it doesn't stop me from crying.
Hannah is pregnant. The all-American girl has an all-American problem.
I was never one of those girls who like sleep around. I've only had sex with one person.
Like, honestly,
I didn't really party. I wasn't really into the smoking and drinking scene.
Hannah's parents, Heidi and Dan McLaughlin.
I got a text from the dad, the father.
You got a text from the dad?
And I got a text from her.
What'd the text say?
Your daughter's saying that she thinks she could be pregnant. And I text her, I'm like, what? And she goes, we'll talk tonight.
Though Hannah keeps up with her classes, the lessons she's learning have little to do with school.
Well, clearly my belly's gotten bigger. My boobs have gotten bigger, way bigger.
That's me. I have an audience of like over 2,000 people, so everybody's watching. But yeah, it's overwhelming. Like, I'm not gonna be, you know, going out partying or, you know, I've always wanted to be in a sorority and not gonna be able to do that.
The sorority she is joining is a sisterhood of teens whose lives, like their bodies, feel strange and unreal. And Hannah's pregnancy gets even more perplexing after her first ultrasound.
It was my first ultrasound, and I think I was like seven and a half weeks. And my sister, she's like, oh my God, twins. And the lady was like, no, triplets. Like, they're probably like that big. And I was just like in shock.
Hannah's world is spinning. And as happens in 8 out of 10 teen cases, Romeo has left the stage.
It's just like he gets to move on with his life and do whatever he wants, you know? Nothing has changed for him, but everything has changed for me.
"3,000 miles away in the working-class town of Haverhill, Massachusetts, 19-year-old Jeremy is a teen father and the exception to the rule.
I could cook for the rest of my life making $12 an hour, as long as I know my son and future wife are happy. Right? Their happiness means more to me than mine.
Jeremy logs 40 hours a week in a pub as a short-order cook. He's a senior at Haverhill High,
Love you.
a father to 9-month-old Carter, and a young man driven by his private history.
I made a promise to myself when I was younger that I wasn't going to be like my dad, because my dad walked out when I wasn't even born yet. My mom was a single mother for 90% of my life. Seeing her go through all the struggle of trying to raise 3 kids on her own, I knew I could never do that to somebody, ever.
It was in science class 2 years ago when Jeremy and 15-year-old Aliki lit a Bunsen burner and touched off their romance.
She just turned to me one day and said that I was hot.
Ah, that'll do it.
Yeah.
Doesn't take much for a boy, does it?
No.
His response was, "So are you?"
Very simple.
Yeah.
They went from lab partners to lovers with little discussion of contraception and no thought of complications. Did you plan on getting pregnant?
No.
Not at all. I didn't want to have a child until I was like 25.
So, how'd the plan go wrong?
Got a little too friendly, per se.
Irresponsible.
Yeah.
All I could think was, oh my God, I'm a sophomore. What am I gonna do? How am I gonna get through this?
Certainly not with the immediate blessings of Aliki's dad, who Jeremy had to face down at the front door.
As soon as I got in the door, her dad just looked at me and said, "You can either get out of that door this second or stand there and wait to either be shot or sent to jail."
When Jeremy walked in that door that day, did you want to throttle him?
I called my friend to get a gun. I was gonna shoot him.
And I just took a step in the door and closed it right behind me. Made him know that I was gonna take whatever he had to give. I was gonna stand up, do the right thing.
But threats gave way to grudging acceptance, eased by Jeremy's devotion to Aliki. This is Christmas Day. Aliki's nearly 9 months pregnant.
I had it in my sweatpants because it was in the morning. Obviously, I wasn't looking all that great. I love you. I want to spend the rest of my life with you. Will you marry me? So.
Yeah, the engagement ring in the sweatpants.
In the pocket, the whole box and everything. Will you marry me?
Nah.
And so begins their experiment to defy the odds. To remain a couple, raise their child, and graduate from high school.
This is where we split up.
It won't be easy.
Going for a bye-bye ride?
Amid the chaos of living in her parents' house,
They can't live with me forever.
with assorted animals, including, ironically, a dog named Juno.
Juno, no!
This teen drama is just beginning.
She doesn't have to work. All she has to do is sit at home and watch Carter. She doesn't really clean. She never cooks.
Push comes to shove and I do need a break, I don't get it. Jeremy gets his breaks quite often.
Down in Louisville, Kentucky. What's your favorite subject?
I love English.
Okay, Mahogany.
A tiny 14-year-old pregnant freshman named Mahogany is determined to be the first in her family to graduate from college. You love English?
Yeah. I get A's and B's.
Yeah?
Yeah, but I'm really not satisfied with the B's. I'm trying to get all A's.
But doing well in school is one thing. Fitting in for a teenager is quite another. Why did you have sex?
I just thought, everybody's doing it. I mean, my mama tells me you shouldn't let peer pressure get to you because only you can make your choices and stuff.
It was summer vacation between 8th and 9th grade. Her boyfriend was just 14 years old as well. This was the first time you had sex?
Mm-hmm. Yes. And we actually did it more after that, but yeah, that was the first time.
So did you take any precautions that day?
Well, we used protection, but somehow I got pregnant. I mean, I don't know if it slipped off or I don't know what happened.
In the last weeks of her pregnancy, Mahogany is both bewildered and brave.
I'm scared of having this baby, but I know it'll be fine.
Let's see. Yeah, Mahogany, she beat me.
Everybody's telling me bye and hope everything goes well. And it's kind of anxious and nervous.
In March, she boards her school bus one last time as a pregnant 14-year-old teen. 3 days later, she's a child mother with a baby of her own.
This is my son. His name is Kason. It was kind of hard when I was pregnant. And I thought that, I didn't know if I was gonna be a good mom to him.
Emotions and instincts rule the day. But ready or not, the rest of their lives starts now.
I'm glad I had you, and I do know what love means now that you're here. I'm gonna do what I have to do to be successful, to make my life and his life better and easier. And that's about it.